Most people think registering a company in the United Arab Emirates is only for massive corporations with huge budgets, expensive lawyers, and complex government connections, but that belief quietly stops thousands of entrepreneurs from accessing one of the most strategically powerful business environments in the world. Because here's the surprising truth. The UAE is not just a playground for global corporations or luxury brands. It is actually one of the most structured, entrepreneur-friendly jurisdictions for foreign business setup, if you understand how the system really works. But there is one detail most people miss at the beginning. And that one detail determines whether your setup process becomes smooth, fast, and efficient, or confusing, expensive, and unnecessarily delayed. And if you are planning to register an LLC in the United Arab Emirates, there is something extremely important you need to understand first. Because in the UAE, the term LLC is not just a simple label. It connects directly to ownership rules, jurisdiction types, licensing categories, and even where your business is physically allowed to operate. Let's start with a story. Michael is a business consultant from the United States. He works remotely with clients across Europe and Asia. For years, he operated as a sole freelancer. But recently, things started changing. Bigger clients began asking for something more formal. Not just invoices, but a registered company in a stable, internationally recognized jurisdiction. At the same time, Sarah, a digital marketing agency owner, was experiencing rapid growth. Her US-based structure worked fine in the beginning, but as she expanded globally, she ran into tax inefficiencies, banking limitations, and client trust issues in the Middle East market. Both of them kept hearing the same recommendation from different entrepreneurs: look into the UAE. At first, Michael assumed it would be too complicated. He imagined endless paperwork, strict residency requirements, and expensive legal fees. Sarah thought it would require physically moving to Dubai or Abu Dhabi just to get started. But here's where things get interesting, because when they actually began researching the UAE company formation system, they discovered something unexpected. It is not one system. It is multiple systems. And understanding that difference is the key to everything. In the UAE, there are 3 main business jurisdictions you need to know about: mainland companies, free zone companies, and offshore companies. Each one has different rules, different benefits, and different limitations. And this is where most beginners make their first mistake. They choose a structure before understanding what they actually need. So let's slow this down and make it clear. Emirates LLC allows you to operate directly within the UAE local market. You can trade with local companies, work with government contracts, and operate without geographic restrictions inside the country. But it usually involves more regulatory oversight and sometimes requires a local service agent or partner, depending on the business activity. A free zone company, on the other hand, is designed for international business. It allows 100% foreign ownership in most cases, simplified setup procedures, and tax-friendly benefits. But there is a trade-off. In many cases, you cannot directly trade within the UAE mainland without additional arrangements. And offshore companies are typically used for international holdings, asset protection, and global structuring. They are not meant for operating inside the UAE market. Now here's the problem. Most people jump straight into choosing a free zone because they hear 100% ownership and tax benefits, without considering whether their business actually needs mainland access. And this is exactly what happened to Michael. He initially chose a free zone setup because it sounded easier, but later realized that his consulting clients in Dubai required him to have mainland access for certain contracts. That small misunderstanding cost him time, revisions, and additional restructuring fees. But there is a smarter way to approach this. Instead of thinking, which structure is best, you should ask, where will my business actually operate and who are my clients? That one shift in thinking changes everything. Now let's walk through the actual registration process step by step in a way that feels simple, not overwhelming. The first step is selecting your jurisdiction and business activity. In the UAE, you cannot register a company without clearly defining what your business does. The government categorizes business activities very specifically. Whether you are a consultant, e-commerce seller, marketing agency, or tech startup, your activity must be approved and listed. This is where Sarah made her first strategic decision. She spent time clearly defining her services before choosing a jurisdiction. And that clarity saved her weeks of revisions later. Because here's the insight most people miss. Your business activity determines your license type. And your license type determines your legal permissions. Once your activity is approved, the next step is choosing a company name. And this might sound simple, but in the UAE, company naming follows strict guidelines. You cannot use offensive language, religious references, or names that conflict with government standards. In many cases, names must also reflect the business activity. Michael learned this early when his first preferred company name was rejected because it was too generic and already in use. He had to submit multiple variations before approval. And this is where patience becomes part of the process. But there's one detail most people miss. Naming is not just branding. It is legal identity formation. Your company name becomes tied to licensing, banking, and contracts. After name approval, you move to license application. This is the core of the UAE LLC setup process. Depending on whether you choose mainland or free zone, you will apply through different authorities. In free zones, this is often handled by the free zone authority itself. In mainland setups, it goes through the Department of Economic Development of the specific emirate. At this stage, you submit documents such as passport copies, application forms, business activity approvals, and sometimes business plans depending on the jurisdiction. And here is where things can get delayed. Documentation accuracy. Even small inconsistencies in names, passport spellings, or activity descriptions can slow down approval. Sarah experienced this firsthand when her application was delayed due to a mismatch in document formatting. It was not a rejection, just a correction request. But it still added extra days to her timeline. Now let's pause here, because this is important. The UAE system is highly efficient, but it is also highly structured. It rewards accuracy, not improvisation. Once your application is approved, the next step is license issuance. This is the moment your company officially becomes a legal entity. You receive your trade license, which allows you to operate legally under UAE jurisdiction. At this stage, many entrepreneurs feel like the process is finished, but there is still one critical step left. Bank account opening day. And this is where expectations often collide with reality. Opening a corporate bank account in the UAE is not automatic. Banks conduct compliance checks, review business activity, and verify the source of funds. This is part of international financial regulations. Michael assumed this would be quick. But his first application required additional documentation and a follow-up review. But here's the insight. Once your business structure is clear and your documentation is consistent, banking becomes significantly smoother. And this is where preparation pays off. Now let's connect everything. Michael eventually secured his free zone company and adapted his business model to fit international consulting clients. Zara structured her agency in a way that allowed her to scale into Middle Eastern markets more effectively. And what changed everything for both of them was not complexity. It was understanding structure. Because the UAE is not designed to confuse entrepreneurs. It is designed to organize them. But only if you choose the right path from the beginning. And here's the deeper lesson most people overlook. Registering a company in the UAE is not just a legal process. It is a strategic positioning decision. You're choosing how your business interacts with global markets, taxation systems, and client ecosystems. And that is far more powerful than just starting a company. Now imagine this from Michael's perspective a few months later. He is no longer operating as a solo freelancer with inconsistent income streams. He now has a structured UAE entity, clearer client agreements, and stronger international credibility. Sarah is in a similar position. Her agency is now positioned to work with higher-tier clients, and her business structure supports expansion instead of limiting it. And what made the difference was understanding the system before acting. Because once you understand how mainland, free zone, licensing, and banking all connect, the entire process becomes logical instead of overwhelming. And that is the identity shift this journey creates. You stop thinking like someone trying to register a company, and start thinking like someone building international infrastructure. Now to summarize everything clearly. Registering an LLC equivalent in the United Arab Emirates involves choosing the right jurisdiction, defining your business activity, securing name approval, applying for your trade license, submitting documentation, and completing banking setup. Each step is connected, and each decision affects the next. When done correctly, the UAE becomes one of the most powerful platforms for global entrepreneurship. And if you take one thing from this guide, let it be this: the UAE rewards clarity, not speed. If you know what you are building and why, the system works with you, not against you. If you found this guide helpful and want more deep, practical breakdowns of international company formation and global business strategies, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more detailed guides like this.